Okay, welcome to the last unit of the semester of the year. Unit 9 is on retirement benefits, including Social Security and Medicare. The first section here starts with retirement plans. Now, we've sort of already gone over how to calculate like retirement amounts and investments and stuff like that, but we're going to more specifically talk about certain types of plans today. So, retirement, if you don't remember, is a specific point in a person's life when he or she stops working. People can be fully retired or partially retired depending on the preference or necessity. Some people, only have enough retirement to cover a certain amount of expenses, and they need to work part-time to cover the other amount of money. Some people who have been planning for years have enough money saved up in their retirement that they don't have to work anymore. And that's completely up to you and how good you are at planning for your own retirement. Many begin planning their retirement at an early age in order to be financially secure when they are no longer employed. There are many options available to you when planning your retirement. So today, we're going to look at a few. Most retirement plans are what we call tax deferred, which means that you can contribute to your retirement fund without any taxes being taken out. So a lot of people will have them directly deposited from their paycheck. So they'll get paid a certain amount, and then some of it will go to their retirement before taxes has been taken out of their paycheck. This is really an advantage because it allows you to put a full amount into your retirement, making all the interest and everything like that without having to take out taxes. Also, because you're making less money, less taxes is actually taken out of your paycheck. So a lot of retirement plans that are tax deferred are preferred by people because it allows them to put more money into their retirement than they would if it were taxed. The only negative side to that is that when you do go to retire and start accessing your money, that's when taxes will be taken out. So it also allows by investing more in your retirement also lowers your taxable income, which means you owe less in taxes during tax time. The question, do you remember this? We talked about this W-2 in a previous unit from Amy Springfield, where you saw that there was a sizable difference between the wages that were claimed for taxes and the actual wages. So she got to claim $78,900 as her wages when really she made $92,100. The reason for this difference is because down here, she has made contributions to tax-deferred accounts, including a tax-deferred retirement account. What that does is it lowers her taxable income, therefore she owes less in taxes. So that is the advantage of tax-deferred retirement accounts, is you owe less in taxes. So let's take a look at some examples. Some of these you might have seen before. An IRA, an IRA stands for individual retirement account. Okay, an individual retirement account, anyone can open up an IRA. And IRAs are tax deferred. All of these accounts that are tax deferred, all of these retirement funds do come with penalties, and there are age requirements in when you can take them out. Most retirement accounts don't allow you to access them till you're 59 and a half years old without penalty. If you decide, if there's some sort of emergency and you really need the money from your retirement account, you can access the money. You will have to pay a fine, and then the fines are different depending on the account. But there will be a fine for accessing your retirement early. If you're okay with the fine, you can certainly take out the money at any time. You don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half. But if you can, you'll avoid that penalty. A 401k, so the IRA is an individual retirement account. Anybody can do that. You can do that at any time with most retirement companies. A 401k is a company issued retirement account. That doesn't work. Let's slide over. Now, and a 401k allows companies, and this doesn't happen all the time. A lot of companies will just provide a 401k, allow you to invest in your retirement. But a lot of companies that's supposed to be companies can match your contribution. So a company, let's say you work for Costco or something like that. If Costco has a 401k option, sometimes the Costco might actually match some of your contribution. Now this is a huge benefit, meaning that if you put in 1,000, some companies will match whatever it is you put into your own retirement up to a certain amount. So if you put in $1,000, your company you're with may as well put in $1,000 into your 401k, doubling the amount of money that goes towards your retirement. That's a huge benefit. Some companies may do 25%, 50%, 10%. Here in Noblesville Schools does match. I think they match it up to 25%. But it's a certain percent of whatever we put in. That's a huge benefit, and it's a company that is investing in its employees, and they want to keep their employees, and that goes a long way. So IRA, individual, anyone can do it by yourself. That's it. 401k is with a company. Companies can match. They don't have to, but the companies can match your contribution. That is a very big incentive. And a 403b. 403b is similar to a 401k, but this is for educators. That's educators. Hey, why would you get a 403b instead of it? Well, most of the time, the fees and stuff like that for the investments are cheaper for educators, and so if you open up a 403b, that's how that works. Some school systems like Noblesville can also contribute like a 401k, but it is a little bit better usually with the rates and stuff like that. But all of these investments do come with similar rules, in that you can only access it after a certain age. Otherwise, you incur a fee. So those are your examples of tax-deferred accounts, that you can put money into these before you even pay taxes. Not only does that allow you to put more money towards your retirement, but it also allows you to lower your taxable income and have to pay less in taxes each year. The most common after-tax investment or retirement investment is what's called a Roth IRA. Roth IRA allows you to put money in after tax has been declared. So what's nice about a Roth IRA is all the money that you put in has already had taxes taken out of it. That way, when you retire and start pulling the money out, you will not have to pay any taxes on it. All that money is yours. So Roth IRA. This is anybody can get a Roth IRA, but a Roth IRA is after-tax investment. It's an after-tax investment that allows you to, once you retire, you can you can start pulling the money out without having to pay any taxes on it, that's nice too. So there are advantages and disadvantages to both. The pre-tax one helps you in the interim. Up until you retire, you're paying essentially less in taxes every year because you're putting money towards your retirement, which you're able to put more money towards your retirement. A Roth IRA allows you to pay taxes on your the money you're putting in towards your retirement, but when you retire, you don't have to pay taxes anymore, which is an advantage that way. So IRA, 401k, 403b, all pre-tax investments. Roth IRA is after tax. You do need to understand what that means. And what does it mean to be tax exempt and tax deferred? Tax deferred means you're not paying taxes on it until you retire. When you retire, then you pay the taxes on it. Whereas tax exempt means, afterwards, because you've already paid taxes on all your investment, you are tax exempt, meaning that you don't have to pay taxes on your income from a Roth IRA. Okay, let's look at some examples. So a lot of what we do in this section here is going to be similar to what we did before. You're going to need Desmos. There's a formula in Desmos that is this. It's this format. Let me make that smaller here. It's this one right here. Okay, this is in Desmos. It's called the monthly. I think it's called a monthly payment. Yeah, no, it's called future value. Yeah, it's called future value or investment. Just find the equation in Desmos. Hopefully you have it saved. It looks like this. If it's not saved or if you don't have it added in there, you should see this equation in Desmos. We did use it earlier this semester. So here's the example. Blythe is 40 years old. She is planning on retiring in 25 years. She has opened an IRA with an APR of 3.8% compounded monthly. If she makes monthly deposits of $500 to the account, how much will she have in the account when she's ready to retire? So basically, you're going to put all of that information into Desmos. Once you have that equation opened up into Desmos, you're going to put everything in. So P will be 500 because that's the amount that you are putting in each time, each month or whatever. And then 3.8% is the rate, or R, which just remember it's 0.038. N will be 12. N is the number of times it's compounded per year. Since it says monthly, monthly means 12 times per year, so N will be 12. And T, of course, is years, time in years. And since this is 25 years, we will put in 25 for T. And what you get is how much money is she going to have when she retires. If she puts in that amount every month for 25 years at a 3.8 interest rate, she would have, and this is, I put it into Desmos, she would have $249,762.86. That's a lot of money, almost $250,000 in the account by simply just putting in $500 a month. When you make a decent money, that's not that much. So the second part of this says, which would have a greater effect on the final balance? If she was to double her monthly deposit, or if she was to double her interest rate. So I'll play around with Desmos, doubling the. Let's see if we were to double monthly deposit. So if I double the monthly deposit to $1,000. She would have $499,525, essentially doubling the total amount, 71. So if she were to double her deposit, that's how much she would have. Or we change that back to 500 if we were to double the interest rate. So instead of 3.8%, we go 7.6, so 0.076. If we were to double the interest rate, she would end up with so doubling the interest rate would be $445,733.40. So it looks like that if she were to double her monthly deposit as opposed to doubling the interest rate, looks like that one's the winner. So that's how you do that. Other parts here deal with taxes. So example 2 says, suppose Blythe's annual contribution was pre-tax. How much did she save in taxes in 1 year if her taxable income was $72,500? So for this one, we're going to look at how much her contribution has saved her from taxes that year. Because she was investing $500 per month, we have to look at how much money she put towards her retirement that she didn't take as income. So $500 per month. $500 per month, so it's $500 for the year. So we do 500 times 12, and we get, that's 6,000. So $6,000 was sent to her retirement that she didn't take as income. So we're going to look at the difference in the tax brackets. And what you see here is if her taxable income for that year was $72,500, she paid, let's use this in a different color right here, she paid $14,475 in taxes. But if she were to take that as income and not put it towards a retirement account, she would have actually had a taxable income of $6,000 higher, which is $78,500, which would put her at $15,975. So by investing the money towards her retirement, she actually saved herself $1,500 in taxes. You just look at the difference between the $14,475 and $15,975. That's a difference of $1,500. So not only is she putting $6,000 away for herself, but she also saved herself $1,500 in taxes having to be paid that year. So that's why the tax deferred options are often favored, because that allows them to lower their taxable income. Example 3. Chelsea is 45 years old. She plans to open a retirement account. She wants to have $3,000 in the account when she retires at age 62. How much must she deposit each month into the account with an APR of 2.25% to reach her goal? So this, again, we're going to use that monthly payment calculator. The only problem with this is we have no way of putting in $300,000 because she wants to have $300,000. That's the value for A in our account, in our formula. And you can't do that. So what we're going to do is just put in the information that we do have. So we put in our rate is 2.25%, so that's 0.0225 into Desmos. We put in, because she's wanting to see how much per month she has to do, we're doing 12 for N because that's monthly. She's going to retire at 62 and she's 45. So that's a difference. It's going to be left in the account for 17 years. That's the difference between 62 and 45. So the only thing that's going to be blank is P, because we don't know how much she's going to deposit each month. So if you leave P in the formula blank, it will actually produce a line. It'll produce a line. So go to Desmos, put that in, leave P blank, and then sort of zoom out a little bit, and you'll see that it's a line. It's in a line. So the way we get around using Desmos, because we don't know what P is, and there's no way to put anything in for A, is we just make another line. So below everything on the same equation, you're going to put Y equals 300,000. This is going to produce another line on the graph. If you put y equals 300,000, you'll see that your graph contains two lines. And then you will just see where they cross. So if you look at Desmos, you put everything that's there into the Desmos equation, leaving P blank. Zooming out, you'll see one line. And then below, at the bottom, you'll add in another line of y equals 300,000. You'll see two lines appear on your graph. If you just select where the two lines cross, that is the answer to the missing P. P will equal, if you just put where they cross, $1,208.59. That's what she's going to have to put in every month from when she's 45 to 62 years of age to have $300,000 left when she retires. So if that's a little confusing, just wait till next class. I'll show you on Desmos there. It's a little harder with this app to sort of go between apps and show on Desmos, but that's how that works. The final thing here, example number 4, Leo makes $75,000 per year. His company offers a 401k retirement plan in which they match 50% of his contributions to the 401k. The company allows employees to make contributions to the 401k to a maximum of 15% of their salary. How much can Leo contribute per month to maximize his contribution? So what we need to figure out here is if he wants to maximize his employer's contribution, they allow him to make an investment up to 15% of their salary. So because he's contributing per month, we need to change this salary per month. So we need to take this number right here and divide it by 12. So if we take 75,000, okay, and divide it by 12, let's see here, we get 75,000 divided by 12, 6,250. So that's how much he makes per month. The company allows him to contribute up to 15% of his salary. So he can contribute up to 15% of that. So we multiply times 0.15, and then let's see, times 0.15. That means that he can contribute $937.50. That's how much he can contribute to maximize his contribution. So just sort of backtrack here. 75,000 was his salary. We got it into monthly form because that's what he's going to contribute per month. And this is how much he makes per month. Now, again, his employer allows him to contribute up to 15% of their salary. So they just take 15% of this number, and that's how much that they will allow him to contribute to his 401k. Now, the company is going to match up to 50% of that. So this answer here to what will his employer contribute as well? Well, we take 50% of that. So times 0.50, and then so times 0.5, and that is 468.75. So his employer is actually going to contribute $468.75 towards their 401k too. So if you wanted to figure out actually how much money is going towards his retirement, you would just add those two numbers. Looks like it's about 13, almost 14, $1,400 that is going to be contributed into his retirement. He's only contributing $937, but his employer is adding to that. That is why a 401k where an employer will match a certain percentage of whatever you put in is such a big deal, such a big benefit. So that's it. The rest here is practice. I suggest you to go through here, at least try the problems If you're watching this on an e-learning day, your assignment is to complete this. There are 5 questions. Yeah, that's it. So your thing here is to complete the 5 problems. The answers are down below for you to check your work. If you have any questions, you can come see me either before or after school or during an e-learning. Otherwise, we'll go over this briefly next class. Thanks. Yep.